Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break and talk about our sponsors for the month, AMP Agency. AMP is a full-service digital marketing agency that specializes in tour, rental, and destination marketing.
We would not have sponsors on the show if we could not vouch for them ourselves. AMP Agency does a bunch of stuff for Destiny Water Adventures personally. I 100% vouch for this guy. I've handed them over to other companies in the past before they officially became a sponsor, and they have had nothing but great things to say. If you guys are doing your own marketing and doing a piss poor job of it, do yourselves a favor. Hand yourselves over to AMP Agency, specifically Steve Edwards, their CEO, will call you personally and have a great conversation with you about what you guys need to do for your marketing.
Listen, guys, they do pretty much everything in digital marketing: website development, maintenance, Google AdWords, PPC, graphic design, social media management, SEO, and a myriad of other things. When you choose a marketing company, it's so important to choose a company that knows your industry. And AMP Agency knows activity marketing, especially water sports and tours. They got a promo going for Awkward Watersport Guy listeners for their managed websites. Use promo code Awkward Podcast when you go to amp.agency. Again, that's amp.agency, promo code Awkward Podcast. You get 3 months free and get started with AMP Agency. All right, guys, let's get back to the show.
So I started asking for friend requests in our group because when I was in Asheville in December, I was like, I've got to know somebody here that does fun stuff, right? That's really a great thing when you travel and then you know people. It's like being in the band a little bit, you know what I mean? And if it wasn't so cold, I would have reached out to Torrin at the Flying Bike, but it was so damn cold because he's the only person I can think of that has a business in Asheville. So, if you're listening to this, find me on Facebook, send me a friend request. I want to know where you are because I want to travel all over the place and have interesting conversation and make friendships. But, that's of course in the long-winded way I tell stories. A guy by the name of, I'm going to have to hold on. I got to look it up on my phone here because he hit up my DMs. And that's what I said. I'm like, hey man, let's be fucking friends. And he hit up my DMs. His name is, and of course my phone is, or my service is super slow right now. Marco Ramirez. And he was just, we waxed a little bit. He was asking me about the show and tourism and stuff like that. So now I just have to find the post in the group. Why don't you find it? You're right there. I got to go through 8 million.
It's a question?
Yeah. Yep. It's a question.
Okay. Is it okay about Wake Surf Chicago?
Yeah. Read it. Read the thing out loud.
Okay. I'm starting Wake Surf Chicago this spring, and I wanted to get some feedback from this group. Aside from wake surfing lessons and boat rentals, I'm also offering what I'm calling a sunrise pass. This will be for locals and will be from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. once a week, and it's a one-time fee of $1,000. Only 8 passes are available. There is a demand for wake surfing out here, and many live within walking distance to the lake. I have 4 locked up already and have to sell 4 more. Does anyone have experience with something similar? Pros, cons, advice, observations? I'm open to hearing all opinions because I'm still learning and know there are many out there wiser than me.
Yep. So I think this is super interesting. I think it's a really interesting concept, and everyone thinks of this, I think, in water sports, although we don't talk about it a lot, right? So people think about the concept of introducing MRR into water sports, right? So everyone looks at the monthly
MRR. What is that for the dummies?
Monthly recurring revenue. Okay, so MRR is basically if VCs are going to roll up a company, when you're looking at online, acquisition type stuff, MRR is a great thing. So if a company can show consistent monthly reoccurring revenue, it's just a piece of a great business model, right? And we see this everywhere we go with apps and, everyone's always trying to get you on subscriptions. And if you can get breakage in there, breakage being, somebody basically forgets, they don't use the service, and you just keep on basically charging them because they forget about it. We've all done it. So everyone, always has this idea sort of pop into their head. I personally think it's fantastic. Like wake surfing it's blue ocean. Blue ocean meaning that there's like not a ton of competition. You have to learn how to do it. It's a specialized thing. Not anybody can do it. So if you're going to commit, you're going to commit to the lessons. So he's taking like a lesson model, right? He's saying like, I'm going to teach you how to do this. And then he puts them on a monthly recurring revenue or subscription service. And it's just like any other teacher, any other course, that's just the way this works, you know? So if you're interested in wake surfing, you know, he's going to sign you up for $1,000 a month. And, you know, I don't know if he does minimum, but it looks as though he's trying to like figure out like basically like a subscription style service.
Well, it's a one-time fee of $1,000. So I'm assuming that it's just for the season.
Well, still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the reality of it is like, you know, so, I mean, there's a couple ways you could probably chop that up too, right? So if you wanted to, you could maybe even do $199 a month and do it for 6 months. And
I absolutely love the concept.
Yeah, me too.
A couple points. So let's say that you have a bunch of paddle boards and kayaks and you can't move these things, you know, during the morning, especially. We know that it's hard to move product before 9 a.m. So let's say from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. that you have all this equipment just hanging out, that for a one-time price for like locals only, $50 a month, $100 a month, you can come down there and use them anytime, any day of the season. You can come down and use the equipment. I love that model. Yep. I think it's great because first of all, tourists aren't waking up that early to go on the equipment anyways, but locals would. Yep. Maybe a local that's trying to, you know, improve their health or fitness and they want to get on the water, but they don't want to deal with all the bullshit tourist traffic. So they wake up early in the morning, they take the kayak, they go out for 30 minutes, they come back. They don't have to maintain anything. I think it's great. Yeah. I mean, maybe some markets it will move better than maybe markets like we're at, Kevin, but I think it's worth trying.
And then look, man, like, so you can take this idea. Hell, I mean, Marco, thanks for sharing it, man. I might put it, you know, there's been some aha moments that, you know, we've had on the show with the insurance, you know what I mean? Like damage protection, or not insurance, sorry, damage protection, TripFlex, like, and to me, this is just like a great idea, man. You know what I mean? Like and there's like upsells you can add on to this. You know, this is something like you could really play
Kevin,
with.
I think you need to try this year with your paddleboards and kayaks.
Cutting that part out. I already got the name for it and everything. Like it all just occurred to me. Edit this out because I don't want my competition doing it right now. Well, no, I already got the way I want to do it, man. But Marco, look, dude, you know, it's like sometimes in your journey when you're figuring stuff out, dude. And this goes back to the first days of the damn show when Greg would talk about Emerald and doing the work and yeah, man, here's the recipe, but who's going to cook, right? You know, it's like, yeah, it's really great that you're willing to share a great idea like this and then ask for feedback. And so if you're just getting started, dude, like you have got the right attitude, man. You've got the right attitude to be successful in business. And, you know, like I want you to take this to heart, man, that even if like you do this and it falls apart, you stay in business. You stay in the entrepreneurial landscape because you got an idea and you're looking for feedback and you're open to ideas and you're not afraid to reach out. And those are a lot of the traits that it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. So no matter what happens with this, you just keep on trucking, man, because I like what I see, dude. And I really appreciate you asking that question. I hope you get some value out of the feedback that we give you. And dude, I truly hope that you are successful, man. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Never hesitate to reach out to my DMs again, dude, because I want to be friends. Marco's from Chicago, and next time I go visit Chicago, I'm bringing my bulletproof vest and hanging out with Marco. Chicago's a dangerous motherfucker.
Oh, God. Well, so we started off episode 100 a little backwards, but it's great. It's episode 100. We're here.
Oh my God, digits. This is episode 100?
This is episode, I mean, I thought we were going to have some big spectacle for like doing episode 100, but I'm like, you know what? It's just like the planning, but we'll take a few minutes though to Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the show so far. We want to take a quick break to talk about our sponsor, Conversion Assist. Conversion Assist is an app that helps you get more bookings, improve customer experience, automate reviews, and make your staff more efficient. And for you Fair Harbor users, it can integrate directly into your system for a streamlined experience.
Yeah, I worked with Dustin and PPC Pros, and then right before actually Conversion Assist, he actually beta tested it with us, and it was like off the wall, the amount of reviews that we got. It was so awesome. And I got to see Conversion Assist before he actually launched it, and it's pretty neat. It puts together all of your different communication and chat bots that you have, from Facebook Messenger to your website, to all the different types of channels that people can reach out to you, and it keeps it all together in one like seamless, integrated application. Dustin himself is also extremely accessible, and he's always a great wealth of knowledge. I think Conversion Assist looks super neat, and it definitely did awesome for us.
Dustin is not only a great member of the AWG community, but he's also a tour operator himself. To learn more, head to conversionassist.me to book a demo today. That's conversionassist.me, not .com. Make sure to let them know that Greg and Kevin sent you from the AWG podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
I wanted to bring Ben back on. I wanted to bring Ben Merrill, who was our first guest ever. And it's so funny that we're doing this, dude. Like, this is so weird. What a great callback. So I did not realize it was episode 100 in true Kevin fashion. I wanted to do a big spectacle for episode 100. So maybe we'll do like episode 105, you know what I mean? Some random ass number and make it a Hallmark episode. But I had a friend in radio, Greg. He's a VP for Clear Channel. I don't know if you remember Clear. They're a huge media conglomerate. And then he bought some radio stations, and, I was thinking about him today, and I actually sent him a message, right? Today, this is so funny. I must have known instinctually in the back of my head that we were at episode 100, but I sent him, like, you could see it. Oh, maybe not, but
maybe, but
you can. It's so bright, but I sent him July 11th, 2020 at 9:13, and I said, hey man, I wanted you to hear this, my first foray into your world. You're an absolute inspiration to me, man. Keep on fighting. The world needs more Dom Theodores out there. And it was episode 1, brand versus commodity. And that was July 11th, 2020. And then today I was just thinking about it, and I was like, 2 years later, and we're about to record episode 100. And this is before you text me today. I thought maybe we were 2 episodes away. I said, we have sponsors. We're like out there talking. Thank you for everything you do, Dom. You know, I hope your family's well, because I've known Dom Theodore since, he was 16. I guess I was 8 or 7. He was my brother's friend. And I've known the guy my whole life, and he's been in radio his whole life. He still is to this day. Like, loves radio, loves the format. He's like one of the preeminent voices. Like, you know, he's that guy that he'll be 75, and it doesn't matter if there's one station left. He'll still be doing radio. He's so passionate about it. And he is a huge inspiration to me, like, doing this, man. It's so weird. But anyway,
I think podcasting is pretty awesome, because it opens up people to discovering people like us. You know, like I want to listen to podcasts that are relevant to things I like, my work and my passions. And before podcasts, you really couldn't do that. It was very broad as far as, radio shows. So I love that, we're doing this, because, where else would people like boat operator, livery operator, professionals, like, where are they going to go, to learn about the industry? There just isn't. So it's really cool.
Yeah, man. So I'm actually going to ask you to do something, and this is like not scripted, guys. We haven't worked on any of this, and I really hope that those of you guys who've been with us since day one, because I know some of you guys love it, but something just kind of came to my attention recently, and it kind of bothers me a little bit. It's a friend of mine, my sister-in-law, and she listens to the show. She's a graphic designer. She knows everybody. Like, it's surprising. Her name's Stacy. And, she's a really talented graphic designer. She's a mom. She works her butt off, and she's got an entrepreneurial streak in her, I believe. But she's always driving her kids around. It's like, I don't think she can listen to the show with the kids in the car, because I swear. And it just bugs me, man, because couple people that I respect have brought it up. And, it's like, I really love, Gary Vee and I love Andy Frisell and all that stuff. But, at the same point in time, like I do offer a family friendly activity, and I want you guys to be able to listen to the show in the car. So Greg, I'm just going to ask you, man, I'm going to do my best to stop swearing on the show. And if I do, I just want you to bleep it out from here on out. Cool?
Okay.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. I just want everybody to be able to enjoy our show. And if you have kids in the car, to be able to listen to it and enjoy it. And yeah, man, I'm a rough and tumble guy, and I swear, and I'm big, and I'm I'm like unapproachable sometimes. And I'm still gonna swear, but we might have to. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit, and we'll beep
it out. Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest,
I think everybody will still listen.
Yeah, they will. I've heard that from other people too. That they don't mind the content. It's just they have their kids in the car, or their mom and their dad. They just don't want to be listening to something like that. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
we'll make that change.
Episode 100. It's a new Kevin. Your first bleep, man. That's your first. You're gonna be the first bleep. I love it.
Got it. All right.
Hey, so listen, we gotta rebrand. We got so much stuff we gotta do. Like, we want to do so much more. Like 2 years. Like, I want to continue doing this for you guys. Like, I truly, truly enjoy this, man. It's a labor of love, and I just, you know what I mean. Like, I just can't imagine a world where I'm not doing this anymore, man. It is too much fun. I hope you and I have just. Well, I've already got a long gray beard, but, we're all gray hair and all old and cobbled together. And, we're still just being Kevin and Greg and shooting the crap.
Yeah, I wonder how many podcasts make it to 100 episodes.
It's a very slim minority, dude. To the amount of people that do it, like, there's guys out there that would they just want to be podcasters. They want their voice heard. They want to do this professionally for a living. And, the fact of the matter is like, it's no secret. We do have paid sponsors on this show. Like, and I always think the magic with stuff like this, especially when it comes to like writing or music or podcasting or something that's like, that has like an artistic component to it, is that in order for it to be genuine and authentic, it has got to be void of transaction. So I think this is what resonates with our listenership. At least I hope it does, that this endeavor is very non-transactional for Greg and I both. This is something that we do together as friends, and our friends come on the show and we have relationships because, a spoiler alert, man, like, there's times that Greg and I are like, we turn down money. Like, we turn down money when it's not a right fit.
We've turned down a significant amount of money for sponsors this year. I'm not even kidding. Type of companies that tried to sponsor, you guys would just be amazed. But yeah, we turned it down.
Well, while we both, I think, consider ourselves marketers, like this show is not, we are not like professional marketers. Like, we market our businesses, but while Greg's got a ton of business relationships, his business model is still very much predicated on business to customers. And so is mine. Like, Greg is actually, oh man, you got to walk a tightrope, because Greg does both. In order for Trip Shock to survive, he has got to walk the middle of making sure all of the business to customers are happy and the business to business is happy. And I can tell you, man, from being friends with Greg since I got here, like, man, it can sometimes be a really thankless job. I can only imagine that it's just like you're getting hit from both ends sometimes. And man, the toll it takes on you as a person and as an entrepreneur when you're just like, you're trying to make everybody happy, which I know that's what you do. And that's why I love Trip Shock, taking it back to the early days, man. The first time we ever got on a phone call, you and we talked for like an hour and a half. We were like immediately kindred spirits. So you were like excited about what I was doing. We talked about marketing. And I knew, like, I was like, man, this guy's great. I look at Trip Shock and it's like, you just got this great brand. You look like they're just this massive company. But at the center of all of it, of your employees, your transactions, all of your customers, you are the heartbeat of that business. Like, we all are. So from whether you're just you and your one boat, or you've scaled up to having 50, 60 employees, whatever it may be, You're still the heartbeat of your organization. Greg is still the heartbeat of Trip Shock, of WaveRes, of AWG podcast. You know what I mean? Like it just never, it never goes away. That portion of things never changes. So when I first had you, when we first had each other on the phone, it was just like immediately like friendship. And then we were both busy, like growing our businesses, and how Greg and I still only see each other in real life, like a couple times a year. It actually kind of sucks. We're only an hour away from each other, but he's so busy with his work and I'm so busy with my work. Sometimes it's just like, man, we don't even have time to like, as soon as I get off this podcast, I got to run out the door, run down the road, go pick up my daughter from the bus stop. And it's just like, we're only like an hour away from each other and we barely ever see each other. And it's just like, man, I just want to thank you, dude. Like, I really do. I thank you for all the work you do on the show. And I thank you for all the work you've done and all the help you've done with Destiny Water Adventures and this little thing that we built. That's still a little thing, you know what I mean? But it's a fun little thing. Man, thanks, dude. Thank you for editing 100 episodes. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for all the execution that you do, man.
Well, the feeling's mutual. That's for sure.
Man. Yeah, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother.
So today we're going to be talking about season preparation. And so some of you have already started your season, those in South Florida, but some of you that are maybe in destinations that are year round, you've already doing this, but a lot of our listeners are prepping for spring break, including Kevin. And we're going to just talk about a few things. This episode could literally be 2 hours long, but Kevin, what I would like to talk about, marketing, hiring, and purchasing, like equipment purchasing. We can just focus on those three topics. But before we begin, we have one big announcement, and that is the forum this year. We are going to be partnering with Arrival on the Watersports Forum in 2023. And we're going to give more details of this in the next shows. But the reason why we did it is because most of the people that attend the forum also attend Arrival. Arrival will be in Orlando. So Kevin and I didn't want all of y'all to come to the Watersport Forum and then 3 weeks later come to Arrival. It just didn't seem fair to everybody. So we're going to be combining things, and it's going to be a very similar event format. However, it's going to be in conjunction with Arrival, and we have a lot of great news to share on that, but we're going to save it for later. So,
man, I know we're going to get into the whole thing of it, dude, but I gotta I want to hit a little bit of soul on this too, because it's really neat, dude. You think about it. I remember year one, I got my weird pink pants and my stickers on it, and somebody's like, I'm trying to fit in and I feel really awkward at the damn thing. I don't know anybody but you. Year two, I'm on I think it was year two. I'm on the stage speaking at Arrival. And then, year three, well, I guess year three, we're partnering with them. I don't know I'm trying to think of that trajectory. Maybe it's even close to year four. I don't know. But regardless, it's just funny how the way things work. You know what I mean? Like year one, I'm a weird, awkward guy. Year two, we're talking. Year three, we're partnering, or year four, however that works out. But it's just man, those of you guys who are just getting rock and rolling, Marco, I'm talking to you, man. Fucking keep driving, dude, because it's funny how things end up. But I'm really excited about the partnership with Arrival. Obviously, Douglas and Bruce are great, and the things that we're gonna do together with those guys is gonna be astounding for the forum and for Arrival the event, man. We are going to drop some MFing value on you guys. And it is so unnatural for me not to swear.
It's going to be really great because there's going to be a lot more going on than just the forum itself. But throughout Arrival, there's going to be perks for people who purchase the forum ticket. So tickets are going to go on sale really soon. And obviously, the earlier you buy, the more you save. So just keep that in mind. So let's,
season, we're ready to roll into spring big. Break, baby. Let's do this, man. Let's get on.
I'm actually really excited about this season, 2023 in general. I was pessimistic at the end of 2022 with the economy and things like that. But the first few weeks of January here, we've seen a good pickup of bookings. We have a lot of new partners, and we've signed up 4 new WaveRes clients in just like the first 2 weeks, which for us, and we're not a Fair Harbor. I mean, that's really good for us. So a lot of demos, Trip Shot getting a ton of inquiries, just feeling really good about the year. So what about you?
It's going to be a monster. It's going to be a monster, man. Like are
we going to make a prediction like we did last year, how wrong we were with 2022? Are we going to do it?
I wasn't wrong about shit. My company did great, dude. You know, and it's just like, you know, it's hard to talk numbers, dude. You know, it is, but it's like, you got to be positive, man. You have got to fight like a damn dog. Like, new location, you know, everything, man. We crushed it, man. We killed it. Like, our numbers were fantastic. They were through the roof. We keep growing. Like, it's just like, you've got to actualize this stuff. But yeah, I am predicting for those who believe in themselves and those who are going to grind and those who are not going to stop and who are going to let nothing get in their way. My 2023 is going to be amazing, dude. I can't wait, man. I am so pumped for 2023. The stuff that we got rolling out, like, you know what I mean? Yes, if you are hungry and you want to get after it and you are not stopping. Look, man, our Jeeps, like, did not do great. My Jeep rentals were not great. So I was at the door, man. I was at concierge hotels myself. In fact, I called you and you called me back, and I don't think I asked you about it, or maybe we did, but I was banging on doors. I was literally going door to door. Me and my partner, Ben Merrill, on the Jeeps, we went door to door to hotels. You know, we're reaching out to concierge managers like, look, man, I've got a budget. I've got a real life marketing budget. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's expensive. But I'm not afraid to get out and go knock on doors, man. Like, I don't stop. I'm still going to set meetings. I'm still going to try and sell my products. The Jeeps undersold in nowhere near what I wanted them to. But it was a great year, dude. We got through, you know, like our doors are still open and we're just going to keep driving forward, dude. Like, I'm not going to stop until it's a success because it's not about the money for me, man. It's about me setting my mind to something and not being deterred. I'm not going to be deterred. Like, you are not going to tell me no. You're not going to tell me it's not doable. I'm going to keep marching forward. Those of you who are sitting there, who are complaining about your year, who are unhappy with things, who are just looking toward the negative. No, man. If you want to be in business, if you want to stay in business, if you want to keep moving forward, you're going to take gut punches. You're going to get kicked in the balls. Shit's going to get tough. Things are going to get uncomfortable. And you keep driving forward, and 2023 is just a calendar, man. You're going to be.
Trip Shot's been around for 14. This is our 15th season, and what happens with us is that we'll go 3-4 years, do great, and then we'll have a shitty season. That's like, it's cyclical. And here's typically what happens, and why everyone gets complacent. So going into 2022, we just assumed there was going to be, you know, similar numbers to 2021, not exactly, but similar. And we budgeted out thinking that we're going to do a certain amount of sales. And then once we got into summer, we were not even hitting what we projected, but we were spending of what we projected. We had to make this last minute pivot in the summer. And basically we're in a position that going into 2023, we're going in more conservatively than we did go into 2022. And we've already been seeing like the impacts just going into the beginning of January, just, you know, making sure that we're not being too aggressive on advertising and so forth. And I guess that's a good place to start, because I think so many businesses make mistakes on their ad budget or just their advertising in general going into the season. So I have a question for you, Kevin. When do you start your advertising campaigns, like really start pushing them in the new year?
I mean, I never stop advertising.
Okay. But you turn up the juice.
Do I ramp my spending up?
Yeah, ramp the spending up.
Right now. I mean, when I see my numbers going up, I start advertising more, you know, so I am ramping up right now.
Yep. So
slowly, but I came way down though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so sometimes it gets difficult for me because I'm start thinking, I'm like, well, you know, so we're looking at conversions, and we're looking at cost per conversions, and then we're looking at the number of conversions, and then we're looking at what we spend. But I mean, typically, so this is my first year where I just, in January, we kept the calendar open. It's like I see a lot of people shut their calendars off, so we kept our calendar open.
We got a booking for you today, I saw.
What's that?
Trip
Correct. Yeah, you did a jet ski tour. Absolutely. Hell yeah, man. We're running jet ski tours right now. Let's go. So, it's 10 degrees in Minnesota, something. You know what I mean? It's warm.
So here's a question, and this is kind of where I'm getting at, is that in the winter, we know that there's availability in the future. However, our data shows that 90% of what we book is within 3 days of arrival. So if there's really nobody here looking for products within the next 3 days, then we know that our cost per conversion goes high, our return ad spend goes down, and we're not getting much for what we're spending. Right. So, a lot of businesses will go January 1st, they'll go wide open on their ad spend, going after people. And yes, you're going to get some bookings for spring and summer, but I'll tell you, July 4th, you don't have to advertise right now for July 4th. You will sell out July 4th, especially for most places. You can wait more last minute, but people go nuts. Businesses go nuts. They just crank up their ad spend January 1st or even February 1st, even, when it's a sunny day out. And you can't do because the majority of the people that are clicking are not ready to book.
Well, so there's a couple different things here though. So I think the ROAS obviously is going to be a lot different for you because even though your average cart value, right? Let's just say your average cart value is $100, but you don't keep that $100. You have to give me 70 or 80 or 85 or whatever it is that, so your ROAS, your margins are so my whole cart is my whole cart. So if I pay $2, I get, let's just say, make it easy, I get the full 100, where you only get whatever percentage.
But the booking trends though are the same.
Correct.
The majority of your customers are booking within 3 days of arrival.
Yeah. So
extrapolated over a year.
My numbers don't reflect that. So our numbers are all over the map. So if you're saying that 80% of your customers, you're seeing a 24 to 72 hour acquisition window, my numbers aren't that high. It's not 70% or 80% or 90% for me. Mm-hmm. They're all over the place. Ilya's pulled up our reports and we've actually taken a look at that. And it's just different for different times of the year. There's not I don't have a static number for that. I'm speaking, I just looked at it one time or for 1 year at different points in the year. And the numbers are everywhere. It was so hard to put a number on that and be so June, July, and August, you're sort of seeing that you're seeing closer to that. But April, March, May, there's I'm seeing a different reflection on that. You know what I mean?
So we're still getting bookings for all year right now. I guess my point I'm making is that be careful of your ad spend when nobody is in town.
Correct.
Because it gets
in market.
And I see it every year that it gets away from people. And just because you have availability, you might be open, doesn't necessarily mean that you go full blast or notch it up.
Well, no, Greg, probably only you and me are the only ones that are segregating our ad spend.
Segregating, yeah. But I mean, this is more advanced stuff. But we stopped as a company. We really stopped advertising when nobody is really in the right now. No one's coming to the Panhandle right now for traveling. It's a few and far between. So we have most of our ad campaigns on a very low ad spend, if not shut off. Now, when we see the occupancy numbers increase, and I use the CVB data a lot. So when I see the occupancy numbers increase, that's kind of my signal to increase my ad budget. But I'm also looking at specific products, which products do I know if it's 50 to 60 degree weather, that's cold for someone to rent a boat. So, I might be focusing on other products. But I guess to shorten this up, since we don't have a lot of time, is to make sure that you're spending money when people are in town.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with that. But I do think that like keeping the foot on your gas and on other areas where you're actually doing the work. Like right now, you really need to be in the kitchen, man. Like you need to be cooking up schemes. You need to be getting creative, because if you want to be in business for any amount of time, like you can't just rely on one acquisition channel. So, with Greg, Greg's like, it's not like somebody can come to Trip Shock and take a boat out or a jet ski, so Greg's got like online digital marketing, like that's his business. He runs like a tech company. It's not like he's going to yank somebody off the street, like a vendor in South Florida and Key West, and take someone and run them over to a boat. Because our market it doesn't really work like that. And then B, because Greg doesn't actually have a boat. Like you actually do not own a boat, do you?
No.
Neither one of us like going.
I never will own a boat, most likely. I'll just rent
Spoiler
everyone else's boats.
I'm a boat guy, but
I'll go on boats and I'll rent people's boats.
So the point being is that like you can get really creative. Like you can get in the weeds on some of this stuff. Like you can optimize some different channels to drive traffic where like we have that advantage because we are direct to consumer, where Greg is like an intermediary. So Greg only has the internet.
Well, when I had my jet ski business in Orange Beach, I did the same thing.
Yeah. The Yellow Pages. You should advertise.
I should Yellow Pages. Yeah, it would be funny because like the guy next to me at the marina, he'd be like January 1st, he's full blast on his ads. And I'm like, what the hell is that? He's not even open for 3 months. How much advanced bookings does he expect to get? Now, there is the component of, let's say that his conversion is super low, but every booking he's getting, that's cash flow for him. Not to say you should be very careful spending money that isn't fulfilled yet, but if you make $20,000 or $30,000 in advance bookings, then that's money that potentially can help with startup costs for the season. So I guess that makes sense. But you're paying a high price for those
sales tax. People, just hear me out here on this one. Yeah, do not pay that sales tax until that is completed. So when you're doing your accounting here, I just want to make sure like we're giving everybody a straight dope. When you're doing your accounting and you're taking pre-bookings, you have to, man, my DM box is probably going to get blown up on this. I'm not a finance guy,
if it's not
to Keith on this one, but
if that money is not fulfilled yet. No.
If you haven't, you pay that money, like, cause like, look, man, another pandemic hits. You got to give all that money back. And then you just paid the state on a bunch of pre-bookings that you had to refund because it went into your bank account then. Like, look, you get a sales tax audit, you're going to be okay here, especially with COVID. You get a sales tax audit and you have to pay that, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be okay on that. But do not pay that sales tax to the state until you've actually fulfilled that sale. That money should be going into after that sale has been fulfilled. Yeah. So it gets a little tricky, you know what I mean? That this is where things get like a little clustered, screwed up or whatever. And, you're going like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So whatever. This is something Ilya brought to my attention because we were just paying it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we're just like, oh, the money went in the bank. Here you go. And now I paid the state and I paid.
And I'm going to leave everybody with one little tidbit. Now, we've mentioned this on an older show, is your ad campaigns, either Google, Bing, they should be segmented between national and local. And you can do this for, with the geo-targeting. And why this is important is, see, when someone that's searching for Minnesota for your tour business in Florida, the intent is not there as if someone was in your destination looking for your product. They're going to get a probably 3 to 4 times higher conversion rate if they're in destination rather than outside. So you're going to pay probably about the same amount per click for that customer, but have a higher chance. That's why you want to segment them. And again, we can go heavy in the weeds on this, but that's all you got to do is just tell your ad person to segment. Yeah, that's gonna save you a lot of money, and it's going to give you a higher conversion. Then in the off season, if you're open, there's a lot of businesses that are still running in the winter. They don't need to be going hard on their USA national campaigns. These people are tire kickers. They're looking for spring and summer. You're
killing me. I'm going to be in my ads now, and I have all this different stuff that's in there. That's like, I was just looking at it the other day. Now we bring this up, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to clean this up. Like, it's eating away at my soul. I have all these old campaigns that are just rotting on the vine in there, and it's just like a messy Excel spreadsheet, you know, or like I just actually turned on my notifications for my email the other day, Greg. So I don't have my notifications turned on my email because it drives me insane and it really stresses me out. So I check my email 10, 15 times a day, but I have 41,000 emails in my inbox right now. I said it to Steve and he goes, Jesus, man, you're giving me anxiety, dude. I'm giving myself anxiety even thinking about turning my notifications back on because I can't do it, man. But what I also can't do is stay on this podcast any longer because I've got a daughter who's going to be like, where's my daddy at the bus stop? She's going to be waiting for me. She's going to be very upset if I'm not there, man. So while you guys, we're gearing up for spring, we might even have to do a part 2 to this because there's a lot of stuff we still haven't gotten into, but this might have to be a 2-parter.
This has got to be a 2-parter because we got 2 more important things to talk about.
We got to talk. So let's make it a 2-parter. We appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. As always, we want you to keep it awkward, but I'm probably cutting us off too soon because Greg probably still has something else to say. Which would be what? No. That was it.
Well,
perfect.
I gave all the secrets away from an ad perspective.
Yeah, so. Stop giving all the secrets away, dude. Just, you know what I mean? Like, take it easy, man. What do you like? I hope you're not trying like position for a sell off or something. You're just like being quiet. You know, are you gonna sell Trip Shock for $1 billion and retire on us?
No. If you want to buy Trip Shock, everything I own is for sale.
All right, brother.
Okay.
I love you, man. You have a great day, my friend, and the rest of you guys, as always, keep it awkward.